Hi, welcome to Darker Side of Music and our latest interview with singer-songwriter Linea.
Now, is your name Linea?
In Swedish it's Linea, but I often hear that Linea. It's fine.
Yeah. And your surname? Because that is...
It's the hard one.
Yeah.
Hjertén. So it's actually pronounced with a J, like Hjertén.
Now, I will be honest, I hadn't heard of you before.
Yeah.
And it's very unusual music for me.
Yeah.
But it's very hypnotic.
Thank you.
And I found it really nice, but really unusual, because it's something I hadn't heard before. I mean, I've heard all sorts of weird and wonderful music, but this one took me because it was very hypnotic, and I found, whoa, hold on, I don't need to listen to this, but I'm closing my eyes and letting it kind of take me, because your music is so hypnotic, and it's kind of mystical in a way. It's really nice, really nice music. It's like I said, something completely out of my comfort zone, but really enjoyed it. Listening to the album, which is coming out, is it 24th of January? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's in January.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm sure I read it the 24th.
Yeah.
I could be mistaken.
Yeah,
Sorry, my mistake. It's the 12th of January. I've just looked through my notes.
Thank you for knowing that, and I didn't.
That's all right.
No, I'm just taking it also like I released a single today, like the third one. So I'm very much in like what's happening now kind of person. So it's good that you keep track of when the release date is.
Yes, I do try and kind of research a little bit, as much as is possible sometimes, to see what people are about and what they've done and what they're doing. So I have a little bit of background to you.
Yeah.
And it's called, I know in English, is it Nine Sisters?
Yeah, exactly.
All your tracks are, I take it they're Swedish, and the titling?
Yeah, the titles are Swedish, yes.
Very, very different. So what have you done before this?
So it's not strange that you didn't hear of me, because I didn't release anything, my like solo things before this. I've been playing in a band called Shamlarein, and they're actually, or it's my friend Sham, it's her project, and I've been playing keys and like backup vocals and doing a bit arranging. And I've been doing my own music, but always like in solitude, not releasing anything. So that's mostly, I've been in other projects and then doing my own thing by myself, actually.
Wow. And is it true that you've recorded most of the album basically in a closet with the lights off?
Yeah.
Is that real, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Wow. But it sounds so good.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy about that. I've been studying music production, and I've been studying a lot of music, biggest part of my life, but the latest one was music production, but it was some years ago. But also it's the vocal recordings that's from the closet, but most of the tracks on my songs are vocals. So it makes sense that I can do that also in a closet, because I don't need a lot of space. Yeah.
Wow. What's made you go to this type of music and style? Is that from your background?
Not like the melodies of this is obviously from my background, because it's from it's very Nordic melodies, and I feel like it's, even if you don't particularly listen to just folk music or something. It's like when I sing, this is what comes out of me. It's like in my blood and nature, because I feel like the melodies are here. I can just like pick them up. But this kind of this kind of music comes from my spiritual practices, because I've been singing by myself, and then I've been using these melodies for evolvement of myself, and I felt like I wanted to record and do some tracks of them.
Wow. So what were your musical influences as you were growing up?
Oh, it's a lot. What I've been studying a lot in in school is like, it's a lot of jazz, but also I've been listening to a lot of rock since I was a kid, teenager, and lately, like since I've been more adult, it's been more atmospheric and maybe soundtracks. And it's a lot of also black metal. So I listen to a very different kinds of music. I'm just listening for that kind of sound. So it's all from like 30s jazz to black metal. It depends on the sound. Like I can be particular about what I like, but it can be from all kinds of genres, if it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Wow, that's an incredible selection of genres you listen to. Yeah, it's incredible. Um, is it difficult creating music this way, or is that more natural to you?
I feel this is the most natural to me, because it's from this album, most of the melodies is what comes to me first, and then I just dress them up or reinforce them with other things. And what I love the most about creating is harmonies, because when I sing something, I hear four harmonies singing around me, and then I just add them on. So that's what I love the most, and it feels natural to me.
That's incredible. It really is. It's a completely different way of doing things. That it's kind of it kind of pushes me back, because it's like, whoa, you're doing this. Whoa, you did that. It's such an unusual concept of how you do things, especially way everything is interacting around your house.
Yeah.
Is you're around your home. It's like, wow, and I can't believe that such a lovely sound. You're just doing this in your own home, and it's comes out quite special. Is
Thank
that
you.
is that difficult, doing things around your house rather than more conventional, I guess?
Sometimes, because when you're really doing something that intense, it can be hard to come out of the bubble. Like,
Yeah.
I know I was especially when I'm mixing, I do something and I can feel like I don't know what's happening after a while. I mean, I don't know what I'm looking for. And then I need to go out of the house and then listen to it somewhere out of the house to kind of hear it from another perspective and then come back again. But if not, besides that, I feel like it's very natural, because I can walk around and I can find a part of myself, a part of someone that you can only find in your own comfort and like in solitude, and not around other people, and not even if you're alone in somewhere else. I don't know, it's a specific way of feeling when you're alone and in your own home. So yeah.
And is that kind of how you want the listener to hear your music? It's kind of that it affects them in that way, that they can experience your music in different places and it will sound a specific way to them in so many words. So you
Yeah.
actually, so you affect the listener in a way. So they're hearing what you wanted them to hear.
Not doesn't really have to be what I want them to hear, but I wanted that kind of intent and closeness to come through and open up the person who listens for that. And it doesn't have to be in a certain way, but really just like breaking a barrier or taking them away from something. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but yeah, you can say that in a way.
And what are your each track, obviously they hold a certain thing for you. So what do you write about? Because obviously I can't understand the title, so I'm hoping to get a little bit of background to how and what influences your writing style. What do they mean?
Yeah, so a lot of the tracks also have some texts, and it's not lyrics, obviously, because they don't have lyrics, but something behind them. And sometimes I call them like a type of key for opening up for something or leaving something behind. So if we talk about Vägen ut, which was, I think it was like the first one, path onwards or outwards. It's more for accepting where you are now and feeling the release of that acceptance to be able to find a lot of power to move on, but like that, a lot of strength in acceptance and the release in that.
It's good. And are these coming from like personal experiences that you put across in your music, or is it?
Yeah, everything comes from a journey of self-evolvement, but all of them doesn't have to be for a specific event or place, but mostly it comes from when I'm on my path and I feel like I come across something that blocks my way and I need a way to break through to be able to move on from that place and continue to evolve. So mostly it's that. The single I released today, and that's called Uppsåt, which means intent. It's more like a way of creating force to build up for a battle. So it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a battle. Like it can be small to big, but something that you know you have to overcome, and you need to build that force before that. And also the beauty in losing something in a battle, and the excitement you need to build up before it. So yeah.
So there's a lot of thought go into these.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you perform any of these live?
I haven't, but I really want to. It's something I'm thinking about right now and trying to plan. And I really like to open for something. So yeah, this is what I'm thinking about now, but I really want to play live. Yes.
I guess it's a lot of thought has to go into how do you put across that atmosphere in a live setting, is it?
Yeah. And it can be, I think I will find it somehow, but it needs some thoughts behind it. And because yeah, it's not like it's a lot of vocals and not a lot of instruments, so it's some planning before that for sure. And what kind of place would it be fitting to be in and sing that? So yeah.
Yeah, because I think it has to be the right surroundings, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because I get a feeling, is it more spiritual, your music, or is it more like with nature?
Well, it's both. For me, it's also very hard to separate the two of that. So yeah, it's right. I would say that.
It's such lovely music. It's where do you place it? Where would you place your music? As in, not really put. I don't want to say what genre, but whereabouts? Who are you aiming at?
It's really hard for me too, because I think it can be something for a lot of people, because I have like a lot of friends that more are in the metal scene that appreciate this, I would think, but also it's folk melodies and it's still ambient music, and I know my label calls it a lot of Nordic Ambient, but it's still also folk music. I don't know. It's hard.
It is, because it's kind of, it's like I said, it's not something I would have listened to, but listening to it, obviously, to be respectful, you have to listen to music. Otherwise, you can't talk to someone if you haven't listened to their music. And it just literally, like I said, it mesmerized me. It was just something so different, and I could just feel almost like you're experiencing the music rather than just listening to it. And it was more than just music and sound. It was so much more. It was it was unusual listening to it, and I really liked it. Got to be honest, really liked it. And then when you find out how you created this music and what environment you created it in around your home, it's just like, yeah, that's quite something. That's it's not what you expect, to be honest, because it sounds quite, although it's simplistic in one way, but it's not complex to listen to. But you can tell it's extremely complex to make or to create, and that came across listening to it. And you've done all this yourself. You mix, produce everything, do you?
Yeah, I do. Thank you so much for the words. I'm really happy to hear that. Really means a lot. And I do mix, produce, and record everything. I did have some additional recordings from with Ludwig from Fondom, and I did, but the rest of it I did record and mix myself. Yes.
Wow, that's very talented.
Thank you. I really appreciate the whole journey of having a melody and then making it from that sound inside of myself to the whole production and the tools I need for doing that. It's I really love that whole thing, and also using a lot of what I have, because I find immense freedom in that restrictiveness for some reason. I think that can be applied to a lot of things, but it's I really love the whole, from melody to whole production. Yes.
That's the best way, as long as you're enjoying it. That's something good. How have the singles gone down so far?
It's been good. They've been appreciated. I think The third one is today, so we'll see about that. But I think this one will be appreciated a lot too. So, yeah.
I can understand why some of your fans are coming from more of a metal scene. I think because of things like symphonic metal and stuff have opened up a whole new way of listening to a lot of music, and it's brought in different things. So I can see where you fit in there. But I can also see people enjoying your music from other genres, like, I don't know, I guess you could say the goth scene, where they just want to relax and literally let their minds flow to something different. And you fit in really well there as well, I think, because it's just, I don't know, it's relaxing as well. You unwind to your music.
Thank you. And yeah, I think in goth and metal and rock, it's a lot of people that are maybe more interested in different paths in life and not just like our material modern world. So I think it can fit in that way. And also, even if you listen to a lot of hectic music, you also need a place to, like you say, relax and wind down. And we all need that. And I think it can be something comforting, or just also a way to take someone out of their everyday life and just change their perspectives. And yeah, like you said, we all need that.
Yeah, I can imagine getting home from a hectic day at work and everything's gone wrong, and I can see putting your music on, and I can see within like 15, 20 minutes of listening to your album, I can imagine that their frame of mind will start to change and calm down from that, because I think you take them to a place with your music and your vocals, that mesmerizing, spellbinding kind of thing, and I think it would help take your mind off a lot of the stresses of the daily routine.
You saying that means everything to me, because that's what I want to do with this music. Is one of the things that's really what I feel like I kind of have to do. So it's really, really important to me, and I appreciate that a lot.
Well, that just shows you're obviously doing the right thing then, if that's what I've seen it as.
Yes, thank you.
It's excellent. It really is. I mean, like I said, for something that was out of my comfort zone, I loved it. I mean, yeah, I can go back and say that I used to love listening to bands like the Cocteau Twins, which obviously their vocals were there, but there was no lyrics as such. That was my first introduction to kind of music like yours, and I love that style. There's something about it that it just puts you in a different place, and I love that idea. And I think it's an absolute pleasure being able to discover bands like yourself or artists like yourself, and be lucky enough to be able to listen to it and enjoy it, and be introduced to something, like I said, completely out of what I would have listened to. But I really, really thoroughly enjoyed listening to your music. And what's the plan for the future? Obviously, you want to try and get to live and things like that. And is this a project that you want to keep going and develop?
Yeah, definitely. I want to do that, and I want to do another album, or I'll see in what way I will create now. But I feel really that I have something coming up and going to continue writing soon. So for sure, it's a project I'm going to keep doing. I don't know how it will become, if it will be kind of the same or I will use some words. I will see, but definitely continuing.
Well, that's good to hear. That is good to hear, because it's nice to hear something different and refreshing, and that's something you've achieved with this. I can see it doing really well. Just for it's just such a pleasure to listen to. There's nothing there that startles you and makes you start going crazy. It's just something that you can literally sit down and you can literally relax so much to it. And it really is lovely music. And I can imagine it not just being music that you can listen to on a CD. I can see it incorporated somewhere else, maybe in scenes from movies and things like that, for haunting scenes and things. And
I would love that.
Yeah,
it's really actually something I would love.
That would be amazing to hear that kind of music coming across. Just there's certain scenes you can imagine where your music would fit in perfectly to give that atmosphere that you need, because your music is very atmospheric and it's kind of surrounds you.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that feeling.
I think a lot of like we're doing so much today, and it's all sounds and talking and a lot of things to take in all the time. And I know that people rarely nowadays just like have no sound on. So I think listening to something that you say like that can surround you without putting words in your head can be important to have that kind of break.
Yeah, because you're surrounded by your hearing is bombarded by sounds all day, wherever it's from. And to put something like your album on and uncomplicate the world, basically. It's going back to the basics and simplistic. You're just listening to something, and it's listening to sound rather than, like you said, rather than lyrics, putting words in your head. This is just sound that is there just to give you that, I don't know, that sense of stress falling away, and that sense of you're happy because you've just been released, right? Basically, and your body is unwinding and becoming more relaxed, and that's what your music is doing. And I think that's the achievement. Obviously, you're wanting to influence.
Yeah,
and that's really nice. It's an amazing album. It really is good, and that's your debut album, and that's good going.
Thank you.
It really is. What else have you got planned? Is there anything else on the horizon? Maybe working with someone else as well? Collaborations?
Not yet. I would love to do that though. That is something that I miss a lot when I'm just recording everything by myself. There's something really beautiful about that too, but I would love to do collaborations. So for sure it's going to happen, but nothing planned yet.
No, and you've got to get the right people, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think that kind of things, if it's right, will happen naturally. And yeah, sometimes it takes time, and it's not time for it because you need to do it by yourself. But yeah, for sure, I would love to do it.
That's fantastic. And is Linea your, what does that mean? I mean, I know it's your name, but
Yeah, Like in Sweden, we have it's actually a flower that's it's really rare, and it grows in the woods. It's kind of hiding underneath the trees, so it's really it's a beautiful little flower. But it's named from, Carl von Linné. Is that a name you know?
I don't know it, no.
Oh, it's this guy who started to name all plants and flowers in Latin for, a long time ago. But the name is from him because he named the flower. So it's not really something that means anything like a lot of other names, but it has a lot of meaning to me. So
Yeah, and you say it's a little flower that hides behind trees, basically hides.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it feels comfort in the woods, and I can really, really feel that too. So, yeah.
An unusual little flower. I suppose it gets the protection of the tree, I suppose.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lovely thing. That it's nice little backstory on your name. That's good. I like that. Is there anything else you would like to mention or talk about?
No, I think we talked about a lot of nice things. So I'm happy.
Yeah, it's really, really good to talk to you. I mean,
You too.
I'm still quite amazed how you've done this around your home. That's it's stuck in my head. That it's just how to create beautiful music in your home. It could be you could do a course on that, train people how to do this around their house properly.
Yeah, that would, because if people saw what I have in my house, it's not like it's a studio. I've been mixing a lot just out through the laptop. So it's a lot about knowledge about the program, and also having great samples and using, like, there's so much to do with what you have. So yeah.
And a great voice added on top.
Thank you.
Great vocals. Linea, I have to say it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I really want you to do really, really well, because it's something so unusual to myself, and obviously it will probably be to a lot of people. And it's something that I can see how much work has gone into it and how much of yourself has gone into it. And I just really, really hope you do really well.
Thank you so much for that.
Well, Linea, thank you so, so much for your time. I know you're probably very busy, especially today.
No, actually, this is a very calm day. So.
Oh, is it?
And thank you for your time. I know you have a lot of things to do.
Yeah, but it's always worth it when you speak to somebody that really deserves to be spoken to. So I know it's not released yet, but congratulations on the album, because it's a great album. It really is. Well done on your debut.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This has been The Darker Side of Music.